Welcome in. We've already recorded 3, but I think this is going to be the first one that we post for our deep dive into individual prospects for the 2025 NFL Draft. This is Fantasy Football RPG. I'm Mike. That's it. That's Evan. Camera's flipped. Got me that time. Today we're going to be talking about Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver out of Ohio State, listed at 6'1", 205. He's 22, so he's not an early declare, but he's about the same age as Luther Burden. Whatever. That's fine. He is a consensus mid to late first round pick. Evan, what do your spreadsheets say about Emeka Egbuka?
Yeah, I mean, they say a lot of good things over the years that he's been at Ohio State. He played as a true freshman on a field with Chris Olave. Marvin Harrison Jr. even got some snaps as a true freshman as well then. You're looking at also having Jackson Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson when he was a true freshman. So he's been in college for a little bit. So, he's played with some really good wide receivers. We're talking a wide receiver that mainly spends his time in the slot. So once again, much like Burden, we're talking a most likely slot receiver at the next level. We're talking a guy in 2024 that had 88 targets for 65 receptions in the regular season, 824 yards with 389 of them being yards after the catch. You do the math, that's about 47% of his yards came as yards after the catch. His ADOT was only 7.9, which once again, people are going to knock him for that. They're going to look at that and say, well, that's too low. All right, we'll go back to his previous 3 seasons. 2023, you have an ADOT of 9. 2022, you have an ADOT of 10.3. He had production in both those seasons. 2023, he was a little dinged up and a little injured. So let's give him a little bit of grace there. You're looking at yards per route run of 2.59. Love that. Love seeing above 2.5, especially playing on a major program. He did a lot behind the line of scrimmage. 143 of his yards came behind the line of scrimmage this year. Also short area, we're talking 270 yards. In that 0 to 9 range. We're talking 260 in that 10 to 19 range. So you're talking to somebody who is most likely not going to be used as a deep ball threat. He's going to be used as more of that chain mover, more of getting the ball in his hands with some blockers, with some offensive linemen, getting out to be able to get in front of him, tight ends getting out to get some blocks, to be able to allow him to use his vision, to be able to wiggle through some of those defenders and be able to pick up crucial yards for NFL franchises. So all of that to say, he's got a good analytical profile at a major Power 4 now team.
Pac-12 erasure. So sad. On tape, we're seeing a smooth operator. This is as polished of a route runner that you're going to see. That's part of the Ohio State, pipeline. Not to helmet scout. From 2000 to 2015, just draft the Alabama running back. From 2015 until it stops, just draft the Ohio State wide receiver. Their coaches are doing a great job over there. He's an aggressive, willing run blocker, which is going to set the tone. It's going to get him on the field. It's something that a lot of rookie receivers struggle with, but no worries there. I know he wasn't used as a deep ball guy a lot, but when he was, he can track the ball very well. He's able to find some of those, Will Howard and Kyle McCord off-target throws and make them look like they were on target. And he flashes his late hands, so it's not one of those things where he's sitting out there with his hands out waiting for the ball to come down. He waits until the last moment, sticks him out, doesn't give the defender any time to swat him away. He can run the whole route tree. I know the majority of the snaps came in the slot, but he can line up at X. He can move in a little bit into like a sniffer position. You love to see how many different ways Ohio State used him, and you know that it's going to translate well because he's already doing them at a high level. I'm going to say he's an underrated yak ability. I'm not going to say that he's a running back after the catch, but he does have good vision. He is able to be, start getting up the field quickly, and he's eating space. He's not going to break all the way away from NFL corners. I don't think he has that top gear, but he does have enough that he can turn a 5-yard catch into a 15-yard catch. He can turn a 15 into a 30. And if he gets enough space, maybe the corner falls down because he put him in the spin cycle. That's when he'll house it. Some of the best landing spots we talked about before the show. This feels like a Steelers pick. All right. It's a run blocker that's smart and can get up the field. You know what they need right now? They need a smart receiver that just freaking gets open. I'm tired of it. Look at my sad Steelers behind me. Other spots that are coming to mind and that are popping up on a lot of mock drafts, Arizona Cardinals should be a rough landing spot for fantasy. The Washington Commanders would be the sweet, sweet spot. Go under Terry McLaurin, be the slot guy, be an effective run blocker. Let's say that he goes to either the Steelers or the Commanders. How comfortable are you with his dynasty price?
I mean, if we're saying his dynasty price is where most people are mocking him right now with a little bit of an uptick, we're talking that 110 to 112 range for him. Yeah, I'm plenty comfortable with it. He's my wide receiver 2 right now. Looking at it where it stands, call me a Big Ten truther here, but I've watched plenty of Egbuka over the years, seen what he's done in that conference, and it's been nothing but big plays, nothing but electric. There is some injury concerns, so you do want to heed a little bit of that. 2023 was a little bit of that dinged up type of year. Yeah. I think he's also got speed to burn, though. I mean, Mike, I think this is a guy that we could be talking as 4.39, 4.38 type of speed.
I would take the over on that, but
okay.
That's why we do the combine, so we can get that final thing. I did not see somebody that is going to separate from NFL defenders using only his speed. I saw a lot of he tricked the college corner into thinking he was running a hitch when it was a go the whole way, or he got them to slow down and then he turns it back on. I think he gets from that 4th to that 5th gear very quickly, but just doesn't have that true 6th gear. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally fair.
But bottom line, we both like Egbuka. I think if you're in a dynasty league, you just won your championship. Now you have Emeka Egbuka staring you in the face. It's an easy pick. Just keep getting those mid-range wide receiver 2s, wide receiver 3s. Just stack your roster. I think this is one of the safer picks. And we talked about this before the show too. I don't see a way where he fails outside of injury. Do you see somewhere where he just goes and he fades into the mist?
No, I mean, from an NFL standpoint, he's always going to have a role. He's always going to be useful. There's no reason that an NFL franchise shouldn't look at him and go, this is a true gamer, a true guy that we want on this team. Everybody at Ohio State says about how great of a teammate he was to everybody else in that wide receiver room, really stepping up this past season to be able to command the room, make sure that everybody's on time, doing everything that they need to be doing, which is something an NFL franchise is going to value. And from a high school prospect perspective, former 5-star recruit, what do we love? 5-star recruits. He had the potential. He came out. He did what was expected at Ohio State, and now he's going to the NFL.
I completely agree. And Cooper wants you all to like and subscribe if you made it this far. Emeka Egbuka, one of our favorite targets in the back end of the first round. Catch you next time. Evan, I love you. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't the goblins get you.